Worn out by a stream of all-night raves, clapped-out clubgoers are turning on to a more natural way of keeping the party going in the 90s. Out are cigs, booze and drugs, and in are herbal highs and vitamin cocktails. Following hot on the heels of the lambada is the latest Brazilian export tip for success on the dance floors. Guarana, which is a nut found deep in the Amazon rainforest, has stimulating properties similar to caffeine. It keeps the Amazon natives going for days, and now UK clubbers raving for hours.
And I find that guarana is rather like drinking 12 cups of coffee and having some alcohol as well. And I mean, that sounds a little horrible, but actually, you know, you have a good buzz off it.
People saying, oh, you know, have you got any E, have you got any ecstasy? People are now saying, oh, have you got any of that guarana stuff? I mean, they aren't particularly well known yet, but they certainly seem to be moving that way.
Clubbers in the know who need that extra little boost aren't only swallowing handfuls of guarana, they're also downing supplements like royal jelly and ginseng, and turning their backs on booze in favor of multivitamin fruit drinks.
I think the 80s, you could say, were very much a designer decade, and so we had designer drugs to fit in with that. We're moving away from that. We're moving into a more environmental decade, as you know, we hear left, right and centre in the media, and so inevitably we're having more, if you like, environmental drugs. In the end of the 80s, people are getting far more fitness conscious. They're starting to eat vegetarian food, for example, to work out down the gym. Now, once you've done that, what is the point then of going out clubbing in the evening and throwing all these horrible, horrible drugs down your system? It just doesn't relate.
It tastes nasty. I mean, it's awful, but it's an acquired taste. After a while, you get used to it. And that's very good for if you've been out late at night and you need that burst of energy to make it to work the next morning.
I used to be like lethargic and watch TV and eat all the time. And then I took spirulina, and I have so much energy, it completely keeps you awake.
For example, is a great supplement. I mean, I'll take that before a night's clubbing or before an all-nighter or whatever. It's great, it's brilliant.
But just how healthy are these natural pick-me-ups? Despite their users claiming no ill effects, some experts are still wary.
I didn't know that guarana contained xanthines, and if that's what you say, then that's very interesting, because that's just a straight stimulant. It's the same family of drugs as caffeine, so it's like Coca-Cola and coffee. That's an addictive substance in a mild sense. It's a straight stimulant. And as I'm sure you're aware, when you haven't had coffee for a while and you have one, you get quite a high from it. But if you become a coffee junkie and start drinking 10 or 15 cups a day, you don't get a high, you only get a low when you stop. And I think that's the risk that people mustn't get into with these types of products.
Sure, I mean, you can abuse them as you can abuse virtually anything. I mean, if you take too much guarana, I mean, guarana is a substance very similar to caffeine, or indeed to cocaine, if you take it, you know, to its extreme. And it'll make you edgy, it'll make you very jumpy if you overdo it. It's kind of natural microbiotic speed. Things like ginseng, royal jelly, which are very popular as well, no, they don't have any side effects at all.
Natural highs don't come cheap. Multivitamin drinks are about £1 a bottle, and a box of Concord will set you back a hefty £10.
I think some people are being vulnerable to spending perhaps a lot of money for supplements that are perhaps not as good as they might be thought to be by the person buying them, to try and counteract what they're doing. A lot of other people are realising that they can counteract stress and pollution by taking vitamins, and are then using this as a way to burn the candle at both ends. And I think this is really a very bad thing to be doing.
But despite the drawbacks, many New Age clubbers regard these tonics as a realistic alternative.
A good idea to make it more widely known that you don't have to take Class A drugs to be able to stay up all night.
Following hot on the heels of the lambada is the